Hello guys, welcome to the channel. It is that time of the week where we talk about all the latest motorsport news, and I'll tell you where you can watch motorsport this weekend because yes, Indycar is back, brilliant, and MotoGP is back, brilliant. So 2 lots of racing, loads to see. I'll tell you where and when you can watch them, and we'll just go over the latest news stories that have happened in motorsport and F1 this week. I do this every week, so please do make sure you're subscribed. Let's get into it. Right, so let's start off by taking a quick look at the channel. Gone in 60 seconds. This is the main channel with all the car stuff. Last on the channel we had the VW ID Buzz GTX, so it's the speedy version. Please do go and watch that. It is great fun. Over the next week we're going to have a bit of a Tesla focus week next week because we're going to have a look at the Tesla Model 3 performance, which is on the drive, and I'm taking it away this weekend. We're going to have a look at the Model Y standard, and I've got some stuff on the AI in cars and the Grok updates on the Tesla infotainment system. So quite a lot of Tesla-y stuff coming, whether it's good or bad, coming onto the channel next week. And then the following week we're going to have the review of the KGM Torres hybrid. So loads of good stuff coming to the Gone in 60 Seconds channel. And of course we split up the motorsport stuff, so it is on a separate channel, so please do make sure you subscribe to both because it really does help me make more of these. Right, let's get straight into some news. So first of all, in WEC, Peugeot have just unveiled their new livery, which I think looks absolutely stunning. This black and white and red looks absolutely amazing. I think that is, wow, that is fantastic. It just looks fast. I'm kind of in love with that. I think that looks absolutely amazing, so I had to show you that. Lewis Hamilton has posted an Instagram story just to say it's a wrap for testing, that he's loving his job. Interestingly down here, he does say, I'm reset and refreshed. I'm not going anywhere, so stick with me. For a moment, I forgot who I was, but thanks to you and your support, you're not going to see that mindset again. I know what needs to be done. This is going to be one hell of a season. I've given everything to be here today. Let's go team. Now, I think he's really referring to his negative mindset last year. I think he got in the Ferrari. It wasn't tailored to him. It was a struggle to learn. It was a struggle to learn their way of working. And I just think that the last year of that regulation that really didn't suit him must have been so stressful and underwhelming, and you know, just nothing he could do to fix it. It didn't matter how good he is, he couldn't solve that or make it more to his liking because it was inherently baked into that regulation set. I'm really hoping that we see the real Lewis Hamilton this year and he's got that bit between his teeth, because then we should see a massive fight at the front of the grid. Ferrari looks good, so does Mercedes. McLaren hopefully look good too, and Red Bull are right up there with Verstappen. So an on-form Lewis Hamilton is absolutely great for TV. An on-form Ferrari is absolutely fantastic for the sport. So fingers crossed he's on it and we see the real Lewis Hamilton. McLaren news, Gregoire Saucy joins the McLaren development program. You may have noticed him. Do you know what? I really loved watching him. I think he was in Formula Regional. He was really good. Didn't quite set the world alight in F3. And he's joined the McLaren development program. It looks like he's going to do some LMP2 stuff, some IMSA rounds with United Autosport, and it says he's going to test within the McLaren racing portfolio. So one must assume it's with a view to the Le Mans stuff for the following year, or maybe even Indy. Maybe he's not quite elite enough for that top level. I suppose we'll see, but I'm really interested to see how he does, because I really enjoyed watching him drive in the European Series. I think it was absolutely brilliant. Drive to Survive came out today, 27th of February. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on Netflix. It's a shortened season, it's only 8 episodes. I'm not going to go through to the step-by-step or tell you about the episode guides, but have a look, because it's content. It's, you know, we've got a week till the season goes and we're at fever pitch. So let's relive last season. Let's look over the greatest news stories. You've got Horner being sacked. We've got the massive fight back from Red Bull. We've got the 2 McLaren drivers going toe to toe. You have got so many stories. It is going to be fascinating. I've not watched any of it yet. So no spoilers from me. I'm just looking forward to watching it as a fan. Bernie Ecclestone has been critical. He's obviously not had any news stories for a little while, so he's decided to join what Verstappen has said about the 26 cars, that he doesn't particularly like them. There will be confusion. The rules don't favour Max Verstappen. It's less about racing. That's how things are developing. More regulations, more rules for the drivers. Don't do this, don't do that. The DNA for Formula One is that it's a drivers' world championship and not an engineers. Formula One is now competing more with Formula E. Maybe the fans like that, but I don't think so. The danger is we'll lose fans. I sincerely hope I'm wrong. Yes, you're wrong, Bernie. You're 900 years old. You are very, very wrong. Tell me in the comments if you think he's wrong as well. Let's be honest, right? Verstappen's complaints are that you have to manage energy. You've always had to manage. I don't buy the complaint, because you've always had to manage, whether that's tyre energy, fuel energy. You've always had to manage. That's why there's lift and coast. That is why there has been tyres that last half a lap, because you've always had to manage the available grip to you. Just like if you go out full pelt and burn all your fuel in the first 10 laps, you're not going to finish the race. If you go out and burn all your electrical energy and don't harvest it, you're gonna not finish the race particularly well, are you? So these things have always been baked into racing. At any level, your tyres will only last so long at their absolute premium operating temperature. Your fuel will only last so long. So these things have always been in F1. Yes, it's slightly different because it's electrical energy tying in with the turbos and all that sort of stuff. So there is maybe slightly more intricacies to it. And just because it's not the way it used to be doesn't mean it's bad. It's still not Formula E. It's not the same. Their peloton style of racing is very, very different. I mean, Formula E is extremely good fun. And next year's Formula E with the Gen 4 cars are going to be much, much quicker still, with much bigger batteries, and they'll go a lot further. So the comparison is only ever going to get slightly closer as Formula E grows as a championship and the technology improves. And Formula One is pushing that same technological envelope too. You know, faster charging is something that Formula E has helped develop. That's something that's going to be coming into more road cars. Lots of this technology is road relevant. Your hybrid cars, your electric cars are all going to benefit from this from this rapid development that we see in F1. So I'm sorry, Bernie, that's irrelevant. Aston Martin, why has it all gone so wrong? We talked last week about why they were so bad. There is a deep dive from Andrew Benson on the BBC website. That is a fascinating read. I'm not going to read it to you now. Definitely worth a look. Netflix and Apple have joined forces to stream it's a full race weekend, I believe. It's the Canadian Grand Prix, I think. Yes, the 2026 Canadian Grand Prix live to viewers in the US is going to be live on Netflix. I know Netflix and Apple are competing, but I get this because Netflix has a bigger audience. This is brilliant for both parties, because Netflix have got something extra that they can share with their fans and the people that watch Drive to Survive and link the two. Apple are dangling the carrot with Netflix paying subscribers, saying, look, you can watch this whole thing live over here. Come here and watch this. So there you go. That's exactly what that is. But if you're in the US, that is great news for you. Next up on here, right, here's an interesting thing. There was a comment on one of the news roundups. I think it was to do with the Drive to Survive, because obviously Christian Horner's in that. And it says, love it or hate him, Christian Horner was a perfect character for the Formula One show. The entertainment of our sport needs characters like Max and Christian to play the villain sometimes. Oh, do you think it misses him? I think we'll see him back in a few months. I think he'll turn up at Alpine, but what do I know? Hey, what do I know? Do you think F1 misses Christian Horner? Do you miss Christian Horner? Pop it in the comments below. Tell me what you think. I mean, from my point of view, I miss his battles with Toto Wolff. I didn't particularly like him morally as a person, but but he's not doing it for me to like him. I admire what he did with Red Bull as a team, taking it from the doldrums as Jaguar and building it and building it and building it into the race-winning, championship-churning machine that it is. Do I like the way they've screwed over drivers? All that sort of stuff? No, absolutely not. But I absolutely respect what he did as a manager, as a principal. So you've got to give it to him for that. Do I miss him? I don't know. Maybe. I think the characters thing, there might be something in that. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below. There's another thing here in the roundup for race fans. Racefans.net, of course, we get quite a lot of news from here because they're really, really good at rounding stuff up. Teo Pourchaire joins Mercedes as a 4th development driver. They've got quite the roster. If we look, they have got Anthony Davidson, Joshua Dirksen and Dorian Pan, and then Fred Vesti is the 3rd driver. So it's quite a roster of drivers. They're obviously investing heavily into having people sat in the sim at all times. So the sim is working pretty much 24/7 just to try and churn the most possible ways a race weekend can go, the most possible setups you could have on a car, just so that they've got every single permutation locked in and know where they are. You can see why they're doing it, and they've got really good, skilled professionals in that capacity, so it is really going to help them. Right, time to quickly look at the M Sport Extra calendar. This weekend we've got IndyCar at St Pete and the MotoGP, Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP. Yes, it's finally time for some racing again. Obviously, we've had Formula E, which has been brilliant, but we've got IndyCar and MotoGP back, which is fantastic. Thank you, M Sport Extra. Please make sure you're following them on Twitter, because that's where you get all the daily updates and all the news as it happens. If you want to watch MotoGP, then you've got the sprint race is at 2 AM on Sunday morning, and the race itself is at 4 AM on Sunday morning on TNT Sports. That's timings in the UK, 2 AM for your sprint, 4 AM for the race, round 1 in Thailand. And if you want to watch the IndyCar Street of St Pete, you have Sunday afternoon. The Indy Next race is at 3 PM, and the main Indy 500. The main IndyCar race is at 5 PM on Sky Sports F1. So that's your news. That's everything that I've seen that I found interesting. I hope you find it interesting too. Please do make sure you like and subscribe to the channels. It really does help make more of these. And I will see you in the next one. And next week, F1 is back.